What's up, everybody? Welcome to MyDunnLife. This is the final day of our vacation in Myrtle Beach. I'm sure I'll do a montage at the beginning of this or at the end of this. I don't know. We'll see how I edit it. This should be the very first dual moto vlog, trying out the DJI Osmo and the Mic 2 kit. Say hi, dear.
Hey.
Should be able to hear her. We're cruising down the boulevard in Myrtle Beach. Unbeknownst to us, we got here before the week, basically before Bike Week. So this is the official start of Myrtle Beach Bike Week. Yesterday. Or no, it was Friday. Friday was the first official day, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Friday was the first official day of Myrtle Bike Week. So technically we're here for Bike Week, sort of. It's been an interesting vacation, I will say. I'm surprised my wife hasn't stabbed me in the back yet. But I won't say that she didn't think about it.
It's coming.
Just so everybody knows how this vacation went. Day one, we left work on Tuesday. Got to Charleston, West Virginia, stayed at a micro hotel out there in Charleston. It's actually one I have stayed at 3 times. The wife has twice, and we rather like it. It's a good little hotel for the price. Obviously it's not a spend the week because there's really nothing around that area, but it's a nice little stopping point when you're in that area. But the hotel's clean. The rooms are a decent price, actually a decent size for a micro hotel. We've been in smaller hotels before, and that's where we stopped for the night. Then day 2 officially day 1, we started making our way down to Myrtle Beach, and we huffed it 10 hours. It was probably about 8 hours on the road, and needless to say, by the time we got to our hotel, we were very tired, and I definitely was ready to get off the bike, and I think the wife was too. And that's where the things started to go downhill. Why don't you go for the blow by blow on the hotel room there, dear?
Oh God.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so room 1. So we booked a king bed studio, ocean front. So paid a little extra, wanted to make sure we got what we wanted. We walked in, and the bed was a double, and then it had a Murphy bed in the room as well. Obviously not right. So I call over to the hotel, because of course the check-in desk is actually in a building that is separate from ours across the street. So I call over, I'm like, hey, this is wrong. And the guy had no clue that was not a king-size room. So he goes, okay, come over, we'll get a switch. Which sucked because we had already unloaded half of the motorcycle. Grabbed our stuff, walked back over, got the key, came back over. Room 2. We go in. It's a king-size bed. It's got a kitchen area. It was also dirty. Like way dirty. It wasn't like you can just wipe it off, it's a little dusty kind of thing. No, there's food on the floor, and while we're talking about the floor, the tiles were all ripped up, coming up, literally I would not be feeling safe to walk on it in socks, much less bare feet. Especially going in and out of the beach, you're wearing sandals and flip-flops, you're kicking those babies off. It was definitely not safe. There were some other issues with it. There was grease, literally grease on the side table. And like the AC wasn't working right. It was all kinds of problems. And I'm not one of those people. like normally if I can just wipe it up, clean it up, I'm okay. I'll just keep going. No. So I call over to the desk again. I'm like, this is unacceptable. This is dirty. It's not safe.
Tiles literally look like a drunk guy put them in. I mean, the tile floor. And I think the thing to also notate about this particular hotel that we were at, like it's more of a resort that rents rooms out. So
these are actually so the way this is done is the hotel the hotel owns some of it. Some of the rooms in these buildings, and other ones are owned by private owners, and you could purchase a room if you want. They do sell them, but otherwise they have private owners, and each room, and they're all decorated differently. So if the hotel owns it, it's more plain, and they pretty much look alike. If they're owned by other people, then they can be completely different. My brother and his family were in another room, one floor below us, that definitely had a private owner and was decked out in turtle everything.
Turtles and seashells.
And then our room, well, our last room, ended up being pretty plain, which was perfectly fine with us. But anyway, so room 2, not good. Room 3. So they moved us further down away from the beach, and actually the room was smaller, even though it was supposed to still be a king studio. The balcony, literally you couldn't go out the door onto the balcony if the chair was in the way. It was that small.
And you had to really pull it shut. It did not want to shut at all.
There was an outlet that was literally pulled away from the wall, like with the air conditioning unit, with no cover, just laying on the floor. Definitely unsafe. Now, granted, half of the room had been remodeled. Like, I would say 2/3 of the room had been remodeled. New flooring, new dresser, new sink in the bathroom with a new counter. But then the kitchen hadn't been touched at all. So the kitchen was extremely outdated, had a stove that I was scared to cook on. And it was a gas stove, which is fine. I cook on a gas stove every day.
Oh, no, it was electric, but it was the old coil style.
Okay, well, it looked like a gas stove.
No, it was a coil style.
It was bad. I was afraid to actually cook on it. There was grease on the fridge, on the side of the fridge from the stove, because it was that close. And every time you opened the door slammed into the refrigerator.
Yeah,
it was a hell of a lot better than the second room. So we ended up staying there for 2 nights. But my brother did us a solid and reached back out to the hotel, to the assistant manager, and was explaining the situation. And so we ended up switching to a floor above them in one of the other buildings. This one was much plainer as far as decoration, like I said, but it was very clean. It was clean. It was actually much bigger. It was probably triple the size of what we had. Oceanfront, beautiful views. So we ended up spending 2 nights in that room, which was very nice. Had a full kitchen. The only couple issues were that the Murphy bed was missing the cover. So like the part that hides it against the wall was missing. And then the water in the bathtub leaked, like had a drip. Oh, and the front air conditioner occasionally leaked onto the floor. Especially when there was a hard rain.
Well, and you got no consistency from the hot water. Like it felt like felt like every time somebody like flushed the toilet, the hot water would get scalding hot. I mean, it was hot, but just a little too hot.
Yeah, I had a couple of scream sessions. But I mean, overall, it was so much better. I would have taken that from day one and not had a problem. And then on day 2, so the room switches 1 through 3 happened on day 1 down here at Myrtle Beach. The switch for the 4th hotel room happened on day 3. So I'll let my dear husband here tell you what happened on day 2. God bless.
So on day 1, when I parked the bike, I lost the ignition switch. Ignition switch jammed up on me. So it's going to the dealer. We're in Myrtle Beach. Yay. And I think what had happened, I'm pretty sure it popped up, it had come loose, and apparently when I pushed it back down and locked it, it misaligned the tumblers and the whole thing was jammed. I literally couldn't turn it to unlock it, lock it, or anything. So I'm definitely, it was panicking at that point. I ended up calling the local dealership. They recommended a local tow service. I was kind of hoping maybe they had their own. I don't know why they don't, especially considering Bike Week and everything. They should have their own, truck and trailer, but they don't. Now I will say the quality towing guys, straight up, real good guys. They had exactly the right equipment to do a motorcycle. One of the guys was a little newer, but he was a fellow rider, so that obviously helped. But he made sure one of the other guys came to that he hooked it up and strapped her down proper. Got it to the dealer. The dealer had it for just a snag over a day. They literally called me even right before they even opened on Friday and said, "Hey, your bike's already ready to go. You can come get it." So $250 later, a couple hours worth of labor. They apparently had to take part of the fairing off to get to the tumblers to release it manually, and so yeah, yay me, lots of fun.
So needless to say, thank goodness my brother was down here, because they gave us a ride to the store. They gave us a ride back to go pick up the bike, and we rode around on golf carts on the second day, so that helped because we didn't have to worry about not having the bike that day. So thank goodness for small favors with that. But it was a semi-quick repair. Bike's running well. Hopefully there's no more issues, or my husband might disappear. Shh, don't tell anyone.
She might have to destroy this footage.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so we're just strolling through the boulevard up here at Myrtle Beach, and then we're gonna start heading back. We're definitely ready to get back. It's gonna be a long trip. It's that second day, like I said, it was 10 hours pretty much on the road, and it was probably 8 hours actually road, and a couple hours of stops. We really didn't stop a whole lot. And
lunch and gas.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. We stayed on the highway and try to maintain the speed best we could. And thankfully, we did have storms that were literally chasing us. We got spit on about once, I think. And but we managed to mostly luck out as far as the weather and the riding. So hopefully we will get to have a similar experience on the way home. But it is it's funny, the hottest day that we've had so far, and it's the day we're starting back.
We had one beach day.
Yeah, we only
because of the weather. It kept stating that we were, gonna get some heavy rain storms and stuff like that, and it was overcast. off and on throughout the last couple days, or well, the first 2 full days we had here. So we had a beach day yesterday, and it was supposed to be like mid 70s, maybe even upper 70s. It kind of dropped down to like upper 60s, low 70s, and it was very chilled. It was actually pretty cloudy. So we were very, very cold. It was still very pretty, very relaxed. Unfortunately, we both got our feet burnt on the top. Otherwise, fared pretty well, but we both forgot to put sunscreen on the top of our feet. So, lesson learned, people don't do that, because let me tell you, a sunburn on the top of your feet and motorcycle boots do not mix. It hurts. But we had a great time with my brother and my sister-in-law, my nephews. They're both older, so I believe they're 19 and 21. And we had a great time with them. It was pretty chill, pretty relaxing. Something we definitely needed right now. Other than the lovely events of the hotel issues and the motorcycle issues. But honestly, the time we got to spend with them was really a blessing. We haven't had a chance to do that yet. We've gotten to like go out to dinner and do a few things, but we've not gotten to actually go on vacation with them. So this is definitely a nice little getaway. We've never been to Myrtle Beach. Our first time. They've been several times, so they were able to kind of point out some stuff, and we ate at several different places, and like I said, had a really good time with them.
Yeah, and as far as the eating, I mean, we kind of had the gambit from local pizza to got to stop and eat at Paula Dean's, which was quite delicious. We did enjoy that meal quite a bit. Not the cheapest meal in the world, but when you're doing a almost buffet style sit down, eat until you're done meal, you can't really beat that.
Yeah, Paula Dean's was so good. I felt so bad with all the food that got thrown away.
Yeah, it was. We definitely were all pretty stuffed, but at $30 a plate, I mean, you shouldn't walk away hungry. That's for damn sure. And we're foodies. We definitely love the food, and that's honestly for us traveling. That's part of our favorite thing to do. I mean, even on the way down, we stopped at this little diner joint and had, literally it was a hole in like it was a dive. It was just a little hole in the wall, shop, and it was like an old train car, and literally the door it was like a pocket door that slid open, and yeah, it was. So we've had, like I said, we've enjoyed ourselves for the most part. Could have been worse, could have been better. It definitely wasn't a cheap trip overall, but yeah, I think we're just looking to enjoy the ride home. It's going to be hopefully a little bit shorter trip. We're only going about halfway, and then stop for the night, and then we'll take the rest of the way home tomorrow morning. And yeah, it's things to remember when you're on trips like this. Don't do what we did and overpack on the bike. This bike is super loaded down. I'm definitely got to look at some ways for us to lighten things up or pack things more neatly. We even cut some stuff out really early as we were packing, but definitely with the few things that we did purchase, it just added that much more back into it. And this bike definitely feels loaded. So we'll something to be working on. I need to catch up on Mr. McStash's video. He did one recently talking about loading the bike and how you should pack and things like that. So I may need to revisit that video. But
all I can say is you packed, I didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this particular video. Hope everybody has a great day, has a great week, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.
Bye.